Is there such a thing as too many new releases? You'll have to let me know. Where's my pen here? I want to count because I didn't write it down. So let's count together. These are February new releases. And welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, K-R-I-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy stuff going on here. And my thumbnails aren't the eye-catching ones that everybody else is doing. So obviously no one is watching my videos. I talk about a book. So the title of my video is the name of the book. I don't like those sneaky titles that other people do. Although I've tried a couple and it hasn't worked for me, so I don't. But these are February new releases, and let me know, is there too many new releases from my video? Oops, wait a second. There's a thing, it's gonna drive me crazy. Okay, here we go. Alright, these are in no particular order. And I'm not sure. I think my computer did a really good job of pictures. So, Cold as Hell, Kelly Armstrong. Havens Rock is a sanctuary town hidden deep in the Yukon for those who need to disappear from the regular world. Detective Casey Duncan and her husband, Sheriff Eric Dalton, are starting a new family now that they've settled into their life here. As Casey nears the end of her pregnancy, she lets nothing, including her worried husband, stop her from investigating what happens in the forbidden forest outside the town of Havens Rock. When one of the town's residents is drugged and wanders too close to the edge of town, she's dragged into the woods, kicking and screaming. She's saved in the nick of time, but the women of the town are alarmed. Casey and Eric investigate the assault just as a snowstorm hits Rockhaven, covering the forest. It's there they find a frozen body naked in the snow. With mixed accounts of the woman's last movements, the two begin to question who they can trust and who they can't. So that's book one. Book two, Capitana. Prepare to set sail with this riveting romantasy, the first in a duology that's filled with complex characters, sizzling romance, chemistry, and page-turning action. Azimia Real has spent most of her life at LA Academy training to become a Caesar seafaring hunter who tracks down pirates, but her future is uncertain. Thanks to her parents' reputation, they were pirates, traitors to the Lusian Empire, and though they're executed with Azimia and her sister were young, they permanently damaged the real name. That's two. The Killing Plains. Maybe I will put up pictures. The Killing Plains. Everything's a little green here. I think I'll put up pictures. This is book three. Sherry Rankin. Two victims 20 years apart, one elusive killer. Crescent Bluff, West Texas, everybody knows everybody and everybody has a secret. When a body is found with the skin of a hare's head in hands, everyone knows who killed him. Willis Newland, just released from prison after serving 20 years for an identical murder. Number four, The Lost Passenger. Marrying above your social class can come with unexpected consequences. Eleanor Combs discovers when she swept into a fairy tale marriage with the son of an aristocrat English family. She soon realizes that it was the appeal of her father's hard-earned wealth rather than her pretty face that attracted her new husband and his family. Curtailed by rigid social rules that include being allowed to see her nanny-raised infant for only moments each day, Eleanor resigned herself to a lonely future. So a present from her father, tickets for the maiden voyage of the luxurious ship the Titanic, offers a welcome escape from the cold, controlling atmosphere of her husband's ancestral home and some precious time with her son Teddy. Oops. Book 5. 11 numbers. Lee Child. An American mathematician assigned to Russia spirals into a high stakes maze of shifting loyalties and intrigue. Nathan Tyler is an unassuming professor at a middling American university with a rather obscure specialty in mathematics. In short, a nobody from nowhere. So why is the White House calling? Summoned to Washington, D.C. for a top-secret briefing, Nathan discovers that he's the key to a massive foreign intelligence breakthrough. Reading between the lines of a cryptic series of equations, he could open a door straight into the heart of the Kremlin and challenge the global balance of power forever. Book 6. Nemesis, Greg Hurwitz. In the latest explosive novel in this New York Times bestselling series, Evan Smoke, having shaped his life with rigid set of rules, finds himself at odds with his odd friends in the world. At one time, Evan Smoke was a highly successful Black Ops assassin known as Orphan X, dedicated to a rigid set of operational rules. Now, even after breaking with the government program, going deep underground and remaking his life, Smoke is dedicated to his assassin 10 commandments. But for the first time in life, those principles have put him on a collision course with the man who might be his best friend in the world, Tommy Sosak. See what happens there. The book that you will see on this channel in a couple of days. Woohoo! My Eve Dallas! Eve Dallas is a lieutenant with the New York City Police and Security Department. I was going to leave this book for last, but oh well. Her partner is Peabody. Partner's real life Peabody is McNabb, who's a detective in the EDT department. Rourke is Eve's husband. Mavis is her best friend. Leonardo is her husband. Mavis is a rock star. Leonardo is a fashion designer. Nadine is a reporter and a book writer. Whitney is her boss. Mira is the department shrink. Feeney is her mentor, and he's also the captain of EDD. Love these books. Love these books. If you've not gone through them, please start at the beginning. Naked in Death, Glory in Death, Immortal in Death, Vengeance is Death, the whole 9 yards. I did the videos. I did them in order. Not the year before last. I did them in Janet Ivanovich. I did all of them. Please check them out. This is book 60. We will do this in a couple of days. His passport read Giovanni Rossi, but decades ago during the urban wars, he was part of a small secret organization called the 12. Lieutenant Eve Dallas finds the Rossi case frustrating. She's got an elderly victim who just arrived from Rome, a widow who knows nothing about why he left, an as of yet unidentified weapon, and zero results on facial recognition. But she finds a connection to the urban wars of the 2020s. She thinks Somerset's fiercely loyal, if somewhat grouchy major domo and the man who rescued her husband from the Dublin streets may know something from his stint as a medic in Europe back then. When Somerset learns of the crime, his shock and grief are clear, because as he eventually reveals, he himself was one of the 12. Keep getting stuff on Somerset. We'll check this out in a couple of days. Look for the video. So that was 7. Book 8. The Librarians of Lisbon. Romance of Casablanca meets the spy world of Ian Fleming in this World War II love story for the ages. In glittering glittering city of secrets and shadows, love is the most perilous gamble of all. Lisbon, 1943, as two librarians are drawn into the city of a dangerous substance abuse and unexpected love affairs. They are forced to choose between their mission and the men they love. Brimming with evocative writing and meticulous research, award-winning author Susan Nelson spins a web of secret alliances, sweeping romance, and great sacrifices, inspired by real historic figures. Book 9. Wooing the Witch Queen. Stephanie Burgess. Queen Sakis is the wicked sorceress everyone fears. After successfully wresting the throne from her evil uncle, she only wants one thing: to keep her people safe from Empire Door. For that, she needs to spend more time in the laboratory experimenting with her spells. She definitely doesn't have time to bring order to the chaotic library of magic. A circle of uncommon witches. A witch generationally cursed to never find true love sets out to break the spell. Didn't we just do one of those in Flashback Monday the other day? Doreen McCannon is doomed to die of a broken heart if she can't break the centuries-old curse on her family. This is going to go in the cursed video. 300 years ago, Ambrose, a powerful male witch, fell in love with a McKinnon, and when the McKinnon witches forbade him from seeing his love, he's secretly hiding her away. Let me just put this here before I forget. Secretly hiding away, he retaliated by cursing the family and its future generations never to find love. But it wasn't without cost. Now Ambrose is imprisoned by those same witches, trapped in a tempest and doomed to outlive everyone he's ever loved. Didn't we just do this? No. Alright, so this was The Librarians of Lisbon, Book 8, and Book 11 is The Quiet Librarian by Alan Eskines. We'll do this. Habibik is a quiet middle-aged librarian in Minnesota who wants nothing more than to be left alone, but when a detective arrives with the news that her best friend has been murdered, Hannah knows that something evil has come for her. A dark remnant of the past she and her best friend shared. You will also see this book in the future on this channel. Murder in an Irish Garden. You're going to see it twice. You're going to see it in... you're going to see this author. I just picked up, they're over there, 3 of her books the other day. For the St. Patrick's Day cozies. We'll see her. Murder in an Irish Garden, Carleen O'Connor. I have done some of her books in the past. Please go check out those videos. While Siobhan, sorry, I get it from Rock's video from Eve Dallas. His aunt is Siobhan. Studies for her detective sergeant's exams, her brother Ian prepares for the grand opening of his new restaurant, the O'Sullivan Six, and concocts a plan to enter Kilbane's top-secret garden contest to boost business. But trouble brews when Ian hires a mercurial landscape designer known for her killer designs. His new partner, unflattering reputation and unquestionable practices, nearly eclipses her talent and plunges the prestigious competition into chaos. A lush and intricate winning garden emerges from the controversy with a spectacular golden statue in the center of display. But in a devastating twist, the work of art leads to a shocking discovery of bold and brutal work of murder. Book 13. Something, I don't know if I'll read it or not. We'll have to see. Gothic Hannah. The Eternal Romance of Beauty and the Beast. Oh, this is going to go in the fairy tale section. Fairy tale. An unusual girl, an enigmatic man, an ancient castle. What could go wrong? An outcast her entire life, Corvina Clem is left adrift for her lost after losing her mother. When she receives the admission letter from mysterious University of Vennamore, she accepts it as a sign from the universe. The last thing she expects is an old and secluded castle on top of a mountain riddled with secrets, deceit, and death. Long Time Gone, Ben Packard. Joshua Moline. Ben Packard's the character, sorry. Ben Packard was just a boy when his older brother disappeared. Ben watched him walk out the back door of the grandparents' house, never to be seen again. Decades later, Deputy Packard finds himself with too much time on his hands. A shooting has him on leave and under investigation. For the first time in years, new information about his brother's shooting has surfaced and he's going to investigate. So that was 14. 15. If you watched the Super Bowl the other day, you saw Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal's reenactment of when Hallie met Sarah. You'll have what she's having by Chelsea Handler. There's a woman I want to become. Chelsea Handler thought as a child. She'll be strong and confident. She'll light up a room and spread that light to make others feel better. She'll make a living being herself. She'll be a survivor. At 10 years old, Chelsea opened a lemonade stand and realized she'd make more money if she drinks were spiked. So she added vodka to her recipe and used her earnings to upgrade herself to a first-class family vacation, leaving her parents and siblings in coach. She moved to Los Angeles and got fired from her temp job when she admitted she didn't know how to transfer calls. She played pickleball with Scions of American Dynasty. She sexted a governor. She shared psychedelics with strangers in Spain. When she accidentally ended up at a dinner with Woody Allen, she was not going to leave the table without asking him a very personal question. Book 16, Nothing Ever Happens Here. When Shelby Donovan survives a harrowing attack that should have left her dead, she tries to move past it for herself and her family. 15 months later, with the help of her best friend Mackenzie, she finally feels safe again in the snowy Minnesota town she calls home. But when an anonymous note appears on her windshield bearing the same threats her attacker made, Shelby realizes her nightmare has only just begun. Book 17. Rebel Witch. Kirsten Kelly. A witch, Rune Winters, is on the run. Ever since the boy she loved, Gideon Sharpie, revealed who she was and delivered her into enemy hands. Everyone wants her dead. If Rune hopes to survive, she must ally herself with the cruel and dangerous Cressida Roseblood, who is planning to take back the Republic and reinstate the reign of witches, something Cressida needs Rune to accomplish. A witch hunter. Apparently it wasn't enough for Rune to deceive Gideon. Now she's now betrayed by him by allying herself with the witch who made his life a living hell. On to book 18. We would never. Tony Mirvis, Mirvis. No one is more surprised than Haley Garman when she comes under suspicion for the murder of her soon-to-be ex-husband, Jonah. Haley, nicknamed Sunshine by her mother, but her bright outlook and ever-present smile is the peacemaker who always tried to do what the family expects of her. The months leading up to Jonah's death have been fraught, including a bitter separation and a messy custody battle over the young daughter, Maya. When Haley files a motion to relocate to Florida so she can be near her family, the divorce begins to escalate, drawing in all the members of Haley's family who are determined to help her. Book 19. The Meadowbrook Murders. And you know, when I heard this, I immediately thought of the Meadowbrook Parkway. You look it up. It's on Long Island. Meadowbrook Parkway. It's the first of a senior year at Middlebrook Academy. For Amy and her best friend Sarah, that means late night parties at the boathouse, bike rides through the sleepy Connecticut town, and crisp beginning of a New England fall. Then tragedy Sarah and her boyfriend are brutally murdered in their dorm. Now, the week Amy has been dreaming about for years has turned into a nightmare, especially when all eyes turn to her as the culprit. She was Sarah's only roommate, the only other person there when she died, or so she told the police to cover for her own boyfriend's suspicious whereabouts. And even though they were best friends, with every day passing, Amy begins to learn that Sarah lied about a lot of things. Book 20. Close your eyes and count to 10. Charismatic daredevil and extreme adventurer Maverick Dillon invites you to the ultimate game of hide and seek. But as the players gather on Falcon Island, the event quickly spirals into a chilling test of survival. A storm rages as deadly threat stalks the contestants during the challenge into something far more sinister than social media stunt intended to be. I'm thinking about doing this series. Robert B. Parker's Buried Secrets. Police Chief Jesse Stone investigates the mystery behind a dead body strewn with photos of murder victims and placed on top of $2 million of cash. Chief of Police Stone is on his way home from a long shift when a call comes in for a welfare check on an elderly resident of the welfare seaside town of Paradise, Massachusetts. Inside a house packed with junk and trash is a man's dead body. It's sadly lonely end, but nothing criminal until Jesse finds the photos of the murder victim strewn around the corpse on top of a treasure trove of $2 million in cash. Book 22. Twilight in Paris, Pam Jenoff. London, 1953. Louise is still adjusting to her post-war role as a housewife when she discovers a necklace in a box at a second-hand shop. The box is marked with the name of the department store in Paris, and she is certain she has seen the necklace before when she worked with the Red Cross in the Nazi-occupied Europe, and that it holds the key to the mysterious death of her friend Franny during the war. Following the trail of the clues to Paris, Louise seeks help from her former boss Ian, with whom she shares a romantic history. The necklace leads them to discover the dark history of Leviton, a once glamorous department store that served as a Nazi prison, and Helene, a woman who was imprisoned there, torn apart from her husband when the Germans invaded France. 23. A man we all know about. We did last year the James Patterson's Women's Murder Club. Please check that out. A new one is coming out this year. And we are currently doing James Patterson's Alex Cross series. Paranoia, the most beloved family in crime fiction. Michael Bennett thriller. NYPD Detective Michael Benton will stop at nothing to protect his family, his wife, his kids, and his fellow officers. At every death scene, Bennett says a prayer over the victim, but recently too many of the departed have been fellow cops. What's going on there? That's magic marker. 24, Blood Ties. Joe Nesbitt. By all accounts, Carl and Roy Opgard are doing quite well for the sum, or at least they're doing as well as can be expected in a small town like Oz. Carl manages this area's swanky and successful spa and hotel, while Roy runs a gas station and harbors great plans to build it into an entire amusement park, complete with a roller coaster. When the news breaks that a new highway to be built nearby, bypassing Oz and leaving the town cut off and isolated, it's clear that something has to be done, even if the methods are bound to be dirty. Fortunately, Carl and Roy have experienced just that. But when a slate of unsolved murders happens, see. Another book that you will see this author on this channel several times. Death of a Smuggler, Hamish Macbeth. All Hamish Macbeth wants is a quiet life in the peaceful home in the Highland village of Lockdown. But when his newly assigned constable arrives, he presents Hamish with a surprise and a secret. Getting to the bottom of the secret becomes the least of Hamish's problems when he meets a family who have a score to settle with a sinister man who has been mysteriously gone missing. Discovering a murder woman body puts further pressure on Hamish, especially when it becomes clear that the murdered woman and the missing man are linked. Book 26, The Witch of Whispervale. R.A. Salvatore. Treaties are discarded as the full invasion of Exxon has begun and war returns to Corona. Consolidated resistance on land in Baron and within the Abbey as last stand against the Golden Warriors and the catalyst for the return of the most powerful gem-wielding witch the world has ever known. Book 27, Dressmakers of London, Julia Kelly. In 1940s Great Britain, plain and awkward Izzy finds comfort in retreating into the safety of the back room of her mother's dressmaking shop. The predictable world of stitches, patterns, and fabrics has been a sanctuary from the cruel, chaotic world that took her father in a tragic accident years ago. Her beautiful sister Sylvia was old enough to watch her father's tragic death force her mother to give up their respectable middle-class home and open a shop to support her family. That's why when she meets the sophisticated, wealthy Martin Pearsall, Sylvia isn't surprised at her mother's encouragement to seize the chance for a better life, even if it means distancing some from her family. And that's it. Book 27. I should have went for an even 30. Oh well. So that's 27 books. Is it too many new releases? Are you going to check any of them out? I've got my Eve Dallas coming. I've pre-ordered it. It's on its way. If you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Don't forget to check out, where is it here? Flashback Monday, where we talk about all the books in this magazine. Don't forget If Then Fridays. And Star Trek Next Generation Recap Fridays. If you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.